Hello, everybody. Welcome to the interesting Modelling Company Sunday service. And tonight it is a Sunday Advent car service. How exciting. Last one of the year, actually. Last car service of the year. But there will be, I've got news for you, Mr. Hartup. There'll be plenty of them next year. So,
well, thanks.
Yeah, that's all right. How are you doing anyway?
I'm all right. I'm bumbling along. That's a good word.
You were saying you were before we started. You said you're feeling a little bit under the weather.
I've pulled something.
Ooh,
back in that lot.
Yeah,
and it's a little painful.
Yeah,
should we just say that at times? So if I wince or anything, be aware. That's what it is. So do apologize.
Right, just bear with me a second. Apparently my audio is terrible tonight.
So touch fuzzy, yes.
Touch fuzzy. External microphone. Okay. Yeah, the audio's fine here at the moment. It's coming through, the signal's coming through strong. So I don't know what the story is there, folks. If it continues to be a problem, we will look into that. So anyway, what's the schedule tonight, Ian? We don't have one. We're going to wing it.
We are. We discussed doing the show tonight.
Yeah.
And then about 1:30 this afternoon, when I got rid of a customer at the showroom and I had an half an hour gap, I thought, oh no, I'll send John what have we got in the stash of information to talk to people about tonight, Jonathan? And your response was naff all.
Nothing.
And I went, now I've had a few bits and pieces delivered over the last couple of weeks, so I can do some talking about some of those.
Well, that was the raison d'etre, as the French would say, for doing tonight's show, because you've been on AliExpress and Temu and all that lot,
yeah, I know.
hoovering up bits and pieces. And I get the horrible feeling, ladies and gentlemen, that by the end of tonight's show, I will have hoovered up some bits and pieces as well, because I just get the feeling Ian's evil influence is going to get me buying things. I tell you what, I do want to get, Ian. It's one of those needle sharpeners.
Yes. I'll grab that. Bear with.
Yeah, bear with.
That's there. That's in the pile now. There's a reasonable debris field of doodles here.
Yeah.
To talk about. So, and then there's some kits and bits over here. So.
Right. Well, in that case, then, do you want me to hand the reins over to you, and do you want to launch with your first purchase?
Well,
and I'll keep an eye on the comments.
Might show you something.
Hang on.
Hang on. There we go. I popped the. You remember from the last show we did? I popped the little ICM taxi into a case. I had this case kicking around, so it's not particularly ideal for it, but it means that when I hand it over to Mr. Farmer, in due course, it won't be destroyed.
No,
in the process. So I thought it's quite nice in there, actually. That's a lovely little kit. That if you, as a car modeler, obviously we get very fixed on scale, and obviously I do a lot of 1/24th, but this is a 1/35th, so a military scale. And I had an immense amount of fun putting it together. It's rather cute, and everybody who's seen it so far goes, "Ooh!" So. Yeah, I'm quite pleased. It'll be going to my club meeting shortly,
excellent.
Which is Wednesday, and they can all take the mickey, but we'll see.
Well, I am, the next time I see Mr. Farmer, I'm hoping to convince him to let me have a crack at some of those ICM cars, because those vintage cars, because they do look quite exceptional. In fact, I will relate a story to you this evening. I was out at the local kind of Cadbury Garden Centre last night with my friend Faye. We went there to do some Christmas shopping. Guess who I bumped into?
Oh, I've seen the photograph.
Mr. Farmer.
Mr. Farmer.
I literally turned the corner and there he was, and he just goes, "Johnny M," and I'm like, "Hello, Mr. Farmer." No job in the fire escape trade, but
I bet he was. I bet he was. I don't. Yeah, sometimes you wonder in those circumstances whether people like Andy, who are who obviously do the day job so much, that bothered to see some of us when we meet them in the street. I bumped into a chap I know who works for one of the bigger retailers a while back, and of course we want to talk shop, and he most definitely didn't want to talk shop that night. So yeah, I kind of get, but there you go.
Andy did say to me, don't look at the basket. So what did I do? My first thing was I looked at the basket, and he said, no, don't look at the basket. And I went, right, okay, because I think he was buying me bits and pieces for my Christmas stocking. So so that was lovely. He was there with Sandra, his wife, and that was absolutely first class to see them. So yeah, but I am going to have a word with him about building some of those vintage ICM kits, because they just appeal to me, and it's ICM, and it then means the hobby company gets some extra models for the displays as well. So
yeah, there's a 135 military 1914 pattern Model T that they also do a set of 2 Australian Anzac figures for as a separate thing, and I must admit that's tempted me. I've seen the picture, I've seen the artwork for the figures, and kind of went, Now I don't do figures, understatement, but I kind of thought I'd maybe like to try my hand at those. It was a really nice little set, and I'll no doubt we'll see what develops as Andy goes along and tells us what he needs. So
yeah, no, absolutely right. We're just going to do a quick catch up with everybody. So I'm just going to say hello to Damien Mullen, Peter Oxley, Modelling Lab, Nick Brown, Phil 9884, Theron Hampton. A lot of people are adding numbers to the end of their names. I wonder if that's a Facebook thing or something.
An email thing, I think.
Yeah. Michael Hooverling, UK Modeler, Captain Magenta. I'm sorry. Dave Swindle, Sarah Jane, R32. What's that one? Garoid. Dubai. Oh no, I can't read that. Dougal, Anne-Marie Ryle Gould, Peter Chappell, done Peter Chappell, Andy King, Kitchen Table Modeler, Tony Surridge, Lee Suter, Rory's modelling page, Shane Weir, good day Shane, SPF Parker, Jack Daniels is good, JC, sure it is, but I prefer R. Bracken. Roy Sutherland, the legend that is Roy Sutherland, John Huston, Paul DRH Wiltshire, Paul Adams, Peter Stacey, apologies, Simon Lewis, scrolls down, Kev Tinker, no, I think we're pretty much caught up with everybody. So would you like to lead with your first purchase off the internet?
So we'll start where you wanted to start, with the airbrush cleaner. I covered this. Yep. I did a little video because I've acquired a Galeri airbrush, much following on from
that's my next purchase.
This is the trigger, the advanced trigger. So this is the one that retails for around the £45 mark. Now, as I said in my little video, which followed on from your little video, I'm developing arthritis in my balls and my thumbs. The trigger grips I'm finding easier to use because I can use my middle finger.
Yep.
And there's less stress across here. Funnily enough, using the first finger does, but the middle finger just spreads it out a bit so I can brace a bit better. So I acquired this one. Now, this comes with a 0.38 and a 0.5 millimeter needle. And being diligent as I am, and after conversation with other people and seeing a comment of Drew's about the action feeling a little sticky in places, I reckoned that this was something to do with the needle. Did you notice I drew the needle forward? We'll cover that again in a minute. So I had acquired this little thing. This is a Mazza airbrush needle repair tool, It's also a needle preparation tool, so it's quite a useful little thing. So before, without any further ado, what I did was I actually cleaned the needle up and tightened it all, just to give it a little bit of extra preparation ahead of use. Because obviously with mass-produced items, and these are mass-produced items at the end of the day, there's always going to be a certain amount of tolerance and the like going on. So this needle, when it arrived, had a gentle bow to it, shall we say. So it flattened out using a piece of glass and a steel rule. So straightened, which is a traditional way of doing it, but also it meant that I needed to prepare it properly. This little tool comes with a holder for your needle, some sanding pads, which are a little coarse for general use, but are quite good for cleaning the body of the needle. You know, if you've used an airbrush, you'll know that where the seal is in here, if you're not 100% diligent with your cleanup, you'll get the stick is generally back here where the seal is, back in the body of the airbrush. And you'll get a ring of paint around it. A bit of airbrush cleaner on a cloth will get most of it off, but sometimes a little bit more abrasive is needed. But this thing is designed for straightening the tips of the needle. So you select the opening appropriately. I'm going to go with this second finest one. You slide your needle into the unit and you rotate it. And there's an abrasive surface in here and a compressed surface in there. And you've done it a little bit in that one. This is the 0.5 needle because I was spraying primer with that brush in my video, and to be honest, I've never switched it back. Little bit of work like that, and if you notice that the tip of that is now a bit shinier, let me just see if I can get that in the other camera view. You might see that the tip of it is burnished up now. So I'll wipe off with there's a little cloth in there. Just use a glasses cloth usually. They're much the same, and that is now ready to go. What I found with this is, having done that to the needles in that came with it, that little catch in the action has disappeared. So I just think that, like I say, it's just a production thing. I have put a little bit of
needle lube.
Well, I use needle juice, you know, the badger one.
Yep.
This one. That bottle, as you can probably tell by the state of it, that bottle is probably nigh on 20 years old. I'm about that far down. Oops, about that far down. So it's never going to run out on me, is it? It's probably going to outlive me. But there you go. I do like this centering needle system. You know, the tip system in these.
Yeah.
They float free in the tip and they self-center, and it's a really neat piece of kit.
I noticed that on my two I've got here, the Mobius and the GAD 39, but I couldn't tell whether I like that or not, because it floats free. It's if you're not aware that it's loose, you could take the nozzle cover off, and then you'll be on your hands and knees searching for a nozzle that's fallen under the workbench. So swings and roundabouts on that one, Ian. I think a little bit more use of my two here, and I may come around to it.
I found when I cleaned it and when I was messing with it, doing this prep stuff with it, it's centered beautifully. And I mean, that you can see what I mean about that action now. It's much smoother. There's no grab there.
Yeah.
At all, which there was beforehand. So as a piece of kit, it's not only useful for cleaning, it's useful for preparation, it's useful for maintenance. stripping your airbrush down periodically and deep cleaning it. You see lots of people advocate it. I mean, if I'm using it 4 hours a day every day or more, then yeah, a periodic deep clean is ideal. Realistically, we need to just do a maintenance clean, and that little bit of prep on that needle, that does half the job. But I mean, that little set, although I knew where me it's gone over there. That little set. I've got it in my head that I paid about £14 for it. The only problem I have is rather wonderfully the transit stickers over the instructions, because they're on the back of the box, and I haven't got it off yet. I will get it off. But yeah, great little piece of kit, really useful, and a positive tool in our armory with respect to making sure that the things we're using are they're on point. That's good. That's the way I put it.
Very apt phrase there. I'm just going to dive in with some comments here. Dave Fleming says people are talking about their here we go. So Dave Fleming says ditto across a couple of email addresses to get first-time buyers discount. I think this is Dave. Was this AliExpress or Temu?
It was AliExpress, that, because I think Anne-Marie was commenting that I've cost her an arm and a leg in AliExpress purchases for the last few weeks.
And yes, and here is part of the conversation. And Dave is saying, God, yeah, I think my airbrush needle tool cost me £8. And Anne-Marie says same here. Now I'm on AliExpress at the moment, and the cheapest I can find the airbrush sharpening tool, needle sharpening tool, is £12.28.
Thing is, when you actually buy it,
and
then if you look down, you'll see there'll be something that'll say voucher available or something like that. So I did one today for some other bits and pieces for some consumables, and it was, if you ordered £15, you got another £4 off and things like that. So you've got to be really careful and read everything that's on the screen, because there's some interesting little hidden discounts, like the coin system on AliExpress. Some of them are really, you got to go in every day and just hit that thing that says collect coins. I think I'm up to about 70 quid's worth now. And
I'm just here. It says coupons applicable, but it's not saying how.
When you come to put it in your,
shopping basket,
just below the price, there'll be one that'll say something along the lines of voucher available, click here, or something like that.
Actually, whilst I'm just going to hijack your little session here, Ian, because I've as often happens when you go onto AliExpress, is something else came up. And it was this. It's a gravity thread. It's not. Is it Galeri? No, it's not. It's new.
No, that's the other one. That new day or something like that. Gravity fed
dual action pistol grip airbrush for £22.14. Could be absolute rubbish, but I'm.
You know what? Does it not look remarkably like these? That's the thing. You're not sure.
I'm hovering over that at the moment, and I think I might go for that. But we'll see what other goodies you tempt me with tonight, and then
there is one of the Galeri airbrushes that I really would like.
Go on,
which is on Amazon at about £100, which is the fan head trigger grip. With the Mac valve in the upgrade. It might have been the Mobius line. It might have been one of the others. I saw it. I was looking at it today. And I looked at it and I thought, as you do. And I've parked it, I think, until after Christmas. We'll see how things go. But it's a nice looking piece of kit. I mean, this thing for basic work with the 0.5 in it. I did a bit of, because as part of that, when I did my video, I was testing these, which are Galeri's acrylic primers.
The
black and the grey. when we talk about value, it's quite interesting. I said I'd ordered some of these, and someone said they're expensive. And the old maths went into play, and I said, why are they expensive? Yeah, but it's £22 a bottle. Yeah, it's £22 a bottle. Where's it gone? This is MRP's Fine Surface Primer, which is £8, I think, or something, maybe a little bit more for a bottle that big, which is 30 mil. All right. £210 mil, 7 times more.
Which is a quarter of a litre, isn't it?
In that for 22 quid. So that works out at about £40 for that amount.
Yep. No, I agree with
no,
you.
it's not expensive. Well, the seat cushion's gone. I ordered it from Amazon, and in both cases, I ordered the grey and the black on different days, complicated reasons. And on both occasions, I ordered it before 10 o'clock in the morning. It arrived at 6 o'clock that same evening.
Got a question from Anne-Marie. She says, Ian, what was that liquid you showed earlier, which I think was the Badger needle lube, wasn't it?
Oh, that's Badger Red Dab, which is a needle lubricator. It's an airbrush lubricator. They call it needle juice. That one. Corking stuff. Getting a little tricky to get hold of, I believe. I have been told, but I've had that one for years, so I don't ever need to replace it, to be fair. And it'll last me forever.
Right, I've got in my shopping part on my shopping cart on AliExpress at the moment. I've got the airbrush needle repair and sharpening toolkit. I managed to find one for £12.28. So,
right.
So right next purchase.
So right, okay. So next we'll talk about these then. So while we're talking about these, we'll talk about these. These are Kaleido acrylics. Now these are made by or marketed under the Galero brand, and they work with Galero's new Kaleido acrylic paints, which I'm still working up the courage to buy a set of because they're a little bit pricey.
A little bit expensive.
Initial outlay. It's not that they're expensive; it's the initial outlay.
Yeah.
And is it going to be another range of paints that, I mean, we were having this conversation with Drew on the show previously, weren't we? Where we always come back to Mr. Colour, Mr. Hobbit, Tamiya, Lacquer. These are water-based acrylic. They are big old bottles, these. Like we say, 210 millilitres, which at 20 quid shipped by Amazon and delivered the same day, I cannot fault. This is the black over bare plastic, and I'm waiting for Sarah Jane to go, oh, M4 floor, because that's what it is. It's a really nice uniform, slightly on the satin side to matte black. It's sprayed beautifully. As to how durable it is on plastic, it's not coming off. No. It's marking, but it's not coming off. You know, some of the earlier water-based acrylics literally just peeled off. So what I've done is I've put my masking tape off camera, right?
I was just going to say, here we go. Here is the destruction test, isn't it? The old masking tape.
Yeah,
I've got to put Kelly Rogan there.
Yeah, well, I don't mind doing the inside because I can always respray it, but that's where I've scratched it.
Yep.
Oh, risky. Ta-da. It's bare plastic. I've done nothing to it. I literally cut it off the sprue, cleaned up the molding points, and applied the paint. If you go back into my on plastic wheels, you'll find the video. It's nearly as good fun as yours. With no paint in the airbrush. I thought that was wonderful. But there you go. So that's their. Now they seem, from what I can see, to take most things over them. I'm still working on spoon tests for various lacquers and things over the top of them to see how they react, if they react at all. But the thing with water-based stuff is when it's dry, it's pretty inert. You know, there isn't carrier in there. There isn't residual. There's a good word for a Sunday night when you're not on form. Thinners and stuff kicking around. So there should be a good basis for stuff like this.
Ian, I've got your video up here. Sorry to interrupt. I got your video up here. Do you want me to key it in? How long? No. Okay.
Just put a link in. Let people make their own opinion of how rubbish it was. So there you go. So that's the primer. There, I like those. As I say, I've got far too many jars of lacquer on the shelf to just wholeheartedly, just to make a whole switch over.
Yeah.
But I think it might be worth a dabble. Thing with them was water-based cleanup. Do not put liquid reamer in your airbrush when you've had this stuff in it. Don't ask me how I know. Water-based cleanup, water-based thinning, effectively odorless. The spraying of them, there was no smell in here at all. Tried them with and without the mask, just for use my normal extractor for the particulate element. Happy as a sandboy. So yeah, I'm quite positive about them. If you're going to spray in an environment, where other people are going to be, for want of a better phrase, downwind, then probably a viable alternative to what we've done before, and usable in the house, in a house environment. You do still need something to extract, because obviously particulate is quite a big issue. But
no, absolutely.
Fumes wise, pretty decent. They do a range of car metallics, but they want 70 quid for the starter set. I'll see how I feel.
Well, I'm going to have a look at that in the new year. Right, Simon Lewis has a question for you. He says, "Hi Ian, have you tried it?" This is that water-based paint. Have you tried it on vinyl tires?
Not yet, Simon. I don't tend to paint tires. But I do use mattes and satins on them, but I don't tend to paint them. It is something that's worth considering. Excuse me, hiccups all of a sudden. But yeah, it's I don't know. I mean, the thing with water-based, of course, is there's always that thing in the back of your mind of, the old felt pen on plastic thing of, is that going to happen? I'm not sure, but I think it's worth. I mean, those primers have gone really quite nicely. I can't really complain about them. I'll see how it develops, I think.
Peter has a question for you. He says, "Ian, have you tried their gloss black primer? Great stuff."
No, because it was out of stock when I tried to order it. It is on my shopping list. I think what might happen is when I get around to looking at the metallics, I might succumb to that at the same time. They do a primary colors box as well, with gloss reds, gloss yellows, and all that kind of stuff in. I'm always interested to come back to what we're doing tonight, and my friends will tell you that I am known as a tool tart. For want of a better phrase. And they're dreadful because they know if there's a new tool out, guess who's going to have it first, or guess who's going to have it before them, and then it's going to be a new tool. And it's part of what I do and who I am. It's part of my thing. I'm always looking for the new thing, the thing that might improve a little standard. So
I think you'll find that myself and Mr. Manton of this parish are of a similar bent, to use a phrase, that we see stuff and we'll buy it, and sometimes it becomes our new favorite forever thing. And other times we go, it's all right, but I prefer to use X, Y, and Z. But I'm with you there. I am absolutely with you there. If I hadn't have experimented, I wouldn't have fallen in love with ceramic scrapers. Oh my goodness me!
No,
that is my favorite new thing. I'm going to buy another handle so that I can use the other blades I've got here.
I must admit, you use yours a lot more than I use mine, and I don't quite know why. I like this; it's a great tool.
Yeah,
but I think I'm still in muscle memory for knives and files.
I use it for seam, getting rid of mold part lines, because that's where I think it's at its best.
Very strong.
Yeah, and also it then means I'm keeping my blades fresh for the stuff that I wouldn't do with the ceramic scrape. I'm using a scraper, literally a scraper, whereas I'm keeping the scalpel blades fresh for precision trimming, which I do less and less these days because of having single-sided nippers. So, you know, everything's kind of progressed, really. Got a question from Peter. He says, I got the auto paint set when it first came out. They have a lot of colors under bland names, e.g. Golf Blue, Baby Blue, Italian Racing Red, the Subaru Rally Blue, etc. So
interesting. Just Tamiya do that with their lacquer range as well. So the Subaru Blue is on there as Racing Blue, if I remember correctly. Yeah, and Racing Blue LP45 and things like that.
Do you think that's a rights? Do you think that's a rights thing that they
get around potential licensing issues, aren't they?
That's what I'm thinking.
Then they make it a generic shade. Then I think the thing is, if you name it as something in particular, people won't buy it for other things.
Yeah, and also
giving it a generic name is quite useful.
Also, if you call it Subaru Ice Blue or whatever, Subaru's lawyers will be saying, "Can we have some licensing money, please?" Right.
Some money.
Question from Brian Wilton. He says, makes an observation. He says, "Yep." Then we see the new tool on IMC. Then we end up buying it. Well, this is why we've got Ian on tonight, because Ian's public service broadcasting this, and Ian's going to drain my bank account tonight with his next.
Should we move on to a new one?
Yep.
All right. So this, in amongst, if you're searching through AliExpress,
I'm there now.
Yeah, you you need to put into the search engine Ray RAY Studio.
Yeah. Right, Ray Studio. Ray Studios tools.
That's the one.
Oh my goodness me! This is looking quite horrific. Oh no! Oh goodness me!
The Ray Studio tools. I've lost something. I put it down just now, and then I realized I put it back away where I got it from. So bear with me a moment. Ray Studio do a whole range of stuff. Now their primary market. Guess where we're going? Gundam Land. Yeah. Ray Studio's primary market is Gundam. So go on, switch. Thank you. In this little selection here, we have a couple of things.
Do you know what, Ian? I'm laughing here. I'm literally the first thing that came up: Ray Studio metal wiping stick seepage cleaning swab, and 76 pence. I've just added one to my basket, and I come back to you, and there you are with your
buy the spare parts pack, John.
Right.
All right. Now, this is one of my current work in progresses. This is the Tamiya Abarth 695. I'll pronounce it correctly for our Italian friends. Abarth 695s. So that is based on the Fiat 500, which we're going to come back to in a minute. I hope you saved that picture, John.
I've got your post here. Yep.
I'm going to put a little panel line wash in this. Now, what I am going to do is I'm going to make a bit of a mess of it. There you go. So we now have a panel line wash applied to our body. Now obviously, it needs to be dry. So out comes my hairdryer, and I'm just going to turn the mic off a moment. Talk amongst yourselves. Sorry, you didn't want to listen to the hairdryer. This is now dry. Now I want to get that off that link. Now, traditionally, I would have acquired myself a cotton bud. I probably dipped it into some white spirit using my little, this is a traditional way of dealing with it. I've either got some white spirit in a little container like this, or I have one of these little things that dispenses it like that, and I wipe at it with my white spirit. Now the problem is if I'm working on a painted finish already, I run a little bit of a risk in that I might damage my painted finish. So this has leaked all over my bench. This is a dry version. So this is basically a rubberized silicone pad on a metal post. They do come off. And you can just rub at it and get it off. Now I say I've just managed to put it onto bare plastic that's been bright, but it takes a little bit of doing. And it will, there you go, look at that.
My first thought is, Ian, is that going to scratch and affect a paint coat because you're doing it on bare plastic?
I'm doing it on bare plastic at the minute, and it's not marking the bare plastic. I tried it on one of my other on one of my test bed models,
yeah,
and it's worked really nicely and hasn't damaged my finish. It's a horses for courses tool. This one, you're either going to love it or hate it. I'm quite impressed with it. Because I'm rubbish at washes and panel lines anyway. We've already had that conversation historically. But I liked that. It's a nice little tool. It wipes off quite nicely. It cleans up. You can buy spare heads for it. It comes in a range of colours, so you can have it whatever colour you want. There's a range of colours. It's just a nice little thing. I quite like that. I mean, like I say, you might prefer to go the this way.
Yeah.
You could possibly use them together, you know. Do the coarser work with this, and then the finer work with these, you know, the last passes. But the problem is I don't like putting solvent onto my paintwork.
No, I can understand
basically
that.
Doing with the cotton bud, particularly if I've spent a long time doing a gloss finish, you know.
Yeah.
Do I want to put Roderick? Yes, Andy's having a moment. I can see that. Tonight it gives you a nice crisp finish, doesn't it? Look at that.
Yes, very nice.
Remembering that I do use the steady drill chisel pieces, the Madworks chisel pieces from my panels,
yeah,
as well, which we've covered previously. And I've managed to get black wash all over the back of my hand now. Grand. But that's what that is. Ray's also made. They do these by the way, the refill packs. You get two of each in the handle. So I've just put the spare one in with my refills, and my refills are there's 6 in a refill. And I think that lot came out at about £1.80.
Now this is where it gets confusing, Ian, because I've just gone on to I'm on AliExpress at the moment. I've just called up those the Ray Studio metal wiping stick, the spare blades, if we'll call them blades for want of a better phrase. The moment I've put them into my shopping basket, the price has gone up tenfold.
That's interesting.
So they were something like about 75p. And then I've put them into my shopping basket and they've gone up to £6.15.
Just take them back out again and wait till they come back down again, mate. I think it's usually a supply thing.
Right, remove. Same with the same with the handle. The handle was going in at 70 odd p, and then the moment I put it into the basket, it's jumped up again. I'm not quite sure how AliExpress works. Is it?
No. It's a bit like Amazon. It's independent traders and a holder and a carrier.
Yeah.
The thing to do with it is literally, and I do this, is your great bits of camera. Hi. Phone's up here recording, so I can't get my phone out. Get my phone, go into the AliExpress app, go looking for it. If I can find a product number, I'll put the product number in the search, and you'll find 15 or 20 people selling the same thing.
Yeah.
And then it's finding where the deal is and following the deal through carefully. But every time you click forward, double check what's on the screen.
Yeah.
And you've just done exactly that, and that's where you've won. And if it's wrong, take it back out again and find another one.
Yeah.
And there will be others there.
I'm just going to go. I'm just on the App Store at the moment. App Store and AliExpress. I've got the Temu app.
Weirdly, I couldn't get to grips with Temu. In fact, to the point at which I deleted everything to do with them. I never actually ordered anything. But
apparently I do already have the AliExpress app. So collect coupons. Collect coupons are expiring, £2 off. Okay, right. Collect now. Collected. Right. God, it's. I think part of the issue here, Ian. I say part of the issue. I think the whole issue here is that I'm 58 and I'm just new to all this newfangled stuff. I'm sure somebody a fraction of my age would just go, I just blitz through it. And that's it.
You do that, and that, and then everybody in the room's going, do you really that quickly? Because we never saw anything. Yeah, it's like when we get trainers in at work to tell us how new computer systems work. Yeah, you just click this and this and this, and then it works, and we are all going, okay.
Right, I'm just gonna redo Ray Studio. So I'm just having a look at my Ray Studio tools. There we go. So Ray Studio tools. You see now it's got the wiping sticks here at £2.86. So
it is okay. It is a little bit of a cup of tea, half an hour. Make sure you've ordered it exactly how you want it.
But what I don't understand, Ian, is that when I popped those wiping sticks into the basket, they were 76p each.
Mm.
The moment they went into the basket, the price shot up, and I don't.
Dave's making a point about new user prices against account holders.
Ah, right.
You've got to be a bit.
No, I'm just having.
To be honest, I've only ever used my account.
Yeah.
But yeah.
What I'm going to do is, right. I know what I'm going to do. I'm not going to tell you what I'm going to do, but
you're going to play with it, aren't you?
No, I'm going to log out and log in with a new account. So
good answer. Yeah.
Probably not.
Should we have a look at some other bits then?
Yes, please. Yes, please.
So also from Ray Studio are these. They do packs and packs of these. There's about 60 sets in all sorts of different sizes and styles. These are fretless photo etch, which is very much a.
Oh, so they're on like a sticky backpack.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they're different diameters, and the diameters are noted on the fret. You see?
What would you use them for?
Well, I'm looking at these in particular and thinking they make really nice dashboard vents.
Right.
And things like that. They are generic and they are intended, as I say, for Gundam. The thing with the Gundam guys is because they're dealing with fictional elements, they can detail them how they wish. So there's lots of videos and where you'll see them. Like for these, they'll get the steady flat drills out that we looked at a few weeks back, and which drill these sort of flat bottom holes like this.
They make the rocking world go round.
They do indeed. They'll make that flat bottom hole and then they'll put something random in photo etch in it to make it look like an outlet or a PowerPoint or something. And because they can do it, but there's all sorts of these. And you know, now then, what was the airplane I was thinking of? Sukhoi 22 on the spine towards the back in front of the fin. There are two circular APU outlets, one on either side, or I think they're because there's avionics and stuff in that bigger spine, isn't there, on the 22 M4, and they've got vents. Well, I was looking at them, and my immediate memory went, I'm 100% certain they look like that.
Yep.
Oh, that's not focused. So they're one of those pieces of kit that you might buy it and keep it for however long and use half a dozen bits off of it, but it's there if you've got it. And at £3, £4, £5, but I think what's my I can't the problem is I can't access my AliExpress account because it's on the phone up there. But I've ordered some bits today where there was a handle and a tool as a combined package, and then there was some of these like a pack of 4. Well, if you bought them individually, they were £2.40. If you bought the pack of 4, they were £5. Now they can sit quite happily for £5. They can sit quite happily in my drawer of stuff until I need them. So I've got a couple of custom car builds coming on at the minute where I'm building dashboards, and they're 50s cars. So these these concentric circle ones here, and here, they'll make perfect dashboard vents, fresh air vents and things. Even if it's just on the end of a bit of tube to make it look like it's not just a tube, to make it look like a pipe end or something. They're great little things. And I was quite impressed with them. And the packaging of them is very good, and the quality is absolutely corking. But yeah, again, it's being prepared to think about what they could be used for, but also having them in the shelf just for when you do need them. And I'm coming down to I've just been watching a thing on the BBC, and there was Jonathan Ross was on talking about his toy collection, which is a warehouse basically in East London, and he's got everything in there. Japanese robot models and GI Joes and things like that. And he made the difference. What's the difference between a hoarder and a collector and a user? And the hoarders just collect everything. The collectors and the users, like ourselves, are collecting with the purpose, because we know that there is a purpose for that further down the line. That's what I quite like those for.
Yeah. No, I completely agree with you.
They're cool. The thing is, so we harp on about this stuff. I mean, look at this. Here's the things we're going to talk about over the next, or I was intending to talk about over the next half an hour.
We can overrun tonight, Ian. That's not a problem, because if we overrun, that means I can sit here. You can do the broadcast. I can sit here with my phone, trying to doing stuff on AliExpress at the moment, so that works for me.
So there's a brand MZ8, I can't remember what it was. I'll put it up. If you search for this particular brand, you'll find things that are labeled MS, and that seems to be their product code. So they do a whole range of tools and bits and pieces. One of the first things I got, which I showed you on the show, was from them, and it was this cutting blade set, and that's got an MS number on it, MS108, and so they seem to have a very big range. They're the guys that do the tape cutting placard, which I've used it that much. The packaging's falling apart now. That has become my one of my go-to tools. So you've got Ray's MS or MZH something or other. I'll put some information up about that. Who are quite happily doing wonderful thing. This is a new one on me. This is the first piece I've had from these. This is COR. I think it's COR. That's a detailing tool for model making, craft, and sewing. I don't know what a sewer is going to use it for, because this is intended for edging Gundam robot limb pieces. Now that sort of castellated line there. There's a very nice sine wave on that side of that. So that's quite. I could do with a tighter one of them. I'm pretty sure Drew ended up doing something like that for the leading edge of a BF-109 recently. But they're in there. There are scribing lines of various widths. So 1 millimeter, 1.5, 2, 2.5, and 3. The spaced lines, look.
Yeah.
Those are 1 millimeter apart. I thought, let's take out the packaging here. It makes better work viewing. This is for scribing parallel lines, which you don't do every day.
I was going to say that sounds rather niche.
But when you do it, you'd rather do it right. Yeah. So there you go. Parallel line scribing. 1 millimeter spacing, 1.5, 2, 2.5, and 3 millimeter spaced parallel lines. See? Ruler at the end. Yeah, and then that scribing edge. I love this one. There's so many things that can be used for, even if you're just using it to cut tape or something. But that, I stuck that on the end of an order because it popped up at 75 pence. The brand seems to be COR.
Right.
And the product number on it is GJ 3009C. I'm 99% certain if you put any of that in, it'll never show up.
GJ
Golf Juliet 3009C.
Yeah. Searches, found it. £4.19 at the moment. Cutting board, core cutting board. £4.19. But no,
they have a website, coremake.com.
Right.
So that's interesting. But there are a number of brands going in, because in amongst of it all, and anybody who's used it recently will agree, but you find Despair stuff.
Yep. I've just come across some here.
So there you go, Despair metallic markers. Now I'm going to tell you, I've been using Despair cutters for a very long time. Myself and Drew got them at about the same time from Hobby Easy back in the day.
Yep.
Now their cutters kind of predate God Hand and also Tamiya doing single blade cutters.
Yep.
So yeah, but this, when people talk about markers and paint markers, and we talk about those chrome markers, you know, the Molotow ones.
Yep.
A lot of the time, we kind of just go, oh yeah, well, it's just a marker pen. Can't be that good a finish, can it? It's a gloss metallic green and blue marker pen. There's 35 colors in that lineup.
And has that got a bit of sparkle to it?
It's got metallic in it.
Yep.
Yeah, it's a metallic color gloss marker. I think, you know what? I actually think it's Car Touch Up Pentec that's carried into our hobby, but they're aimed again at Gundam modelers. And but I bought them again. I was putting an order in. I had a bit of money, a bit side, I was in my budget, and I thought, well, I'll stick a couple of them on, just see what they're like. I really can't fault that. I mean, if you do it right and you don't rush like I've been doing, you can do without the pen lines. I think you see there, look. The pen line in that first bit of blue. Look how that color shifts as well.
Yeah.
So they're really quite cool. But I say that's Despair stuff at a tenth of what the retail price is over here.
Yeah, do you know what's really frustrating, Ian, is that I've logged in with a spare email account, and those other items that we were just talking about have the cleanup tools. They've gone down to 70 odd p, but when I then go looking for the airbrush needle repair one, the one that's sitting in my other shopping cart here for 12.28, that's not showing up at all. I'm just going to have a look.
You've got an existing owner deal, an existing user deal on that one.
Because this is where things get complicated, because there are first time buyer deals which can be quite substantial, but then they'll also do deals for people who've got established accounts.
Yeah,
so
it's kind of spending the time compiling your order before you just press go.
Yeah. And then splitting it across two accounts effectively.
On the Despy subject,
yes,
this is one of their most recent tools. I don't. Did you get one of these?
God,
do you get the red thing for drilling the ends of rod?
I got the reaches up. No, that's my Despy reciprocating sander. I think what you've just described, Ian, that's what I bought.
Yeah, because I got one as well, didn't I?
We are so awful that we buy things and then we forget what we've bought. Goodness me, it's in here somewhere.
This now, funnily enough, I actually have sourced this from AliExpress.
Right.
There are a number of UK retailers who are looking at the screen right now and going, no, because they're selling this thing for a lot more money than I got it for.
Yep.
Which reflects a comment that someone made earlier where Dave said, AliExpress have one of those rod rilling drills for £10, a lot less than I paid.
Here we go, Ian. Sorry,
Dave. So this.
Here we go, Ian. Sorry to interrupt you. There we go. I found it now. Model tool. It's the Mazza model tool borehole positioner. So
that's the thing. That's made by the same people that make the airbrush needle cleaning thing.
Right.
Okay. This is a multi-tool. Every face of it has at least one function, sometimes 2 and 3. As a piece of kit, it's utter genius. I'm very impressed with it. It's this tool, this face here. There's a point where you can put your drill bit in to drill, like your tool there.
Yeah.
Drill into the side of a piece of rod that you've positioned in here. But there's also this V here. If you cut 2 bits of plastic card, here's one I didn't prepare earlier. Not my finest work. And you put them like this, and then you run your liquid poly down the join, and you leave it for a minute or two. What you're left with is a 90-degree join.
Yep. Perfect.
And the jig does the work.
Question. I've just found it on AliExpress. £35.72.
Yeah.
So a good price?
Discount, I paid $25 for it. But
okay.
You just need to jiggle around with that one and you'll find it in there. But
when you say jiggle around, I mean what? You
look at what your options you might find that there's a discount voucher for it. You might find that there's a saving else on it. You've got to kind of put the item in and search it as an individual item, and you'll find it on all sorts of different retailers with different offers on it. It's finding the offer that gives you the best saving.
Okay.
It's not like I'll click it and I'll buy it like Amazon.
Yes.
I'll find it and then I'll search for the best deal for me.
Right, I'm with you. So, right, it's just there's people now shouting at the screens, thinking, "Goodness me, how naive is this guy?" So I'm just having a look. So I've typed in Despy multi-tool, and it's coming up with loads of not offers, but loads of people selling it, and end of results. So it would appear nobody's doing it cheaper than £35.72.
Yeah, so that'll be that they've had a run on them, and they've just moved it. Tony, this one goes on the end of that one for bigger drills, strength. Yeah. So that while that's drying, we'll do this one. So this is the thing that Jonathan's got in his hand, with many bits loose in the box because I've been playing around with it. But this, when you put a normal drill in there, if it's a one with the bigger drills, is it 3mm? Yeah, the 1.125 inch, the 3.175mm shanks, they don't fit right. So there's this, which is basically a replacement piece for it, which goes. Got to get this right. It kind of goes there like that. So you've got a bigger drill pieces to go in it. There's instruction. There are instructions with it on how to use it, but quite a useful little upgrade. Depends on the quality. Depends on the type of drill bits you use, whether you'll see a value in it. And that's what it is, Tony. Yeah. John's gone quiet now.
No. I'm listening. I've been momentarily distracted by my AliExpress shopping cart. I do apologise.
We are. Can I just make a point here? We are not in any way under commission from AliExpress.
No, God no. If Temu were doing
I tell you.
Yeah, no. If Temu were doing a better offer, I'd be with them. Or if Amazon were, it would.
Yeah. Tell you what, if I was, Anne Marie's paid my mortgage payment this month, but it's not happening, sadly. So those are the like I say, you kind of have to play it like a game. Go in there and spend some time looking at the individual item, and don't necessarily order it on the first visit. If you put it into your wish list, magical things may happen. Like it might come down in price, or you'll get an offer or something. Yeah, but this thing, Dave Fleming saying, "Oh, I want that." Yeah, look at that. Yeah, look. More right angle glued plastic. Now there is an edge up the bead on this. The idea is you then sand the bead away, or if you're canny, you can do it without the bead. But the thing is, you're not the glue where you glue is over that groove.
Yeah.
So the glue doesn't wick up behind it or get behind it. So it is spot on. Perfect. There's also a thing for bending and sizing, and this one's quite cool. There's a blade buried down in there, and it's intended for putting a point onto rod. So you put a bit of plastic rod in and turn it. It will put either a chamfer or a point onto your bit of rod. This one is for, obviously that's a very broad range of angles mitre, with dimensions in there as well, which is quite nice. There's a recess in that, and it had a reason. I'm going to double check the instructions. I can't remember what that recess is for. Oh yeah, that's another one. That one there is for cutting corners, so you can put your bit of plastic card in. They are. Yeah. That's a nice little piece of kit. There you go. But that if I got that I've used that quite a bit since I got it, for various bits and pieces. Other things. Let's have a think. These are cleaning wipes. These are intended for. They're marketed against for airbrush cleaning, I think. Actually, the pictures on the artwork are people cleaning out color cups with them. They're quite absorbent. I believe, I'm told, that they come from the nail tech industry.
In other words, that if you went onto eBay, you could probably find them
as
cheap as chips on eBay.
Yeah. But again, I was, you're bulking an order up to get a bigger discount.
Yeah, which sounds like it's a contradiction in terms, isn't it? But
yeah. So I put £2 onto an order and saved a £5. So I saved £3 over the order. These are silicone brushes. These are becoming quite a widely seen thing. But I use one of these for cleaning my airbrush as well. If I've got stuff stuck down in the color cup, because I don't run the risk of leaving brush hairs in there. So they're quite a nice touch for that. Pack of 5. I can't even remember how much I paid for them, but it was pence really. But again, those are available. Like you say, they're available on eBay. They're available on Amazon probably as well. These I really quite like, these ones. I like the packaging, and I like the fact that they're shorter. They're paper shafts. I've seen some with bamboo shafts recently, which is interesting. And you get a pointy end and a rounded end on each one.
Yep.
And they are considerably cheaper than Tamiya's. But obviously Tamiya, of course, and that's where we get to one of the little trays of doom around. They do a whole host of sizes, whereas as far as I can see, these are only available in one size. However, the product number and some of the packaging suggests that isn't the case. So I'm waiting for the other sizes to pop up one day when I'm least expecting it. There you go. So that's those.
There we go. Sarah Jane says, I've been using the carbon silicon pens for years. Great for moving decals, which I do a lot of, without damaging them.
That's a good tip. Thank you.
Yeah.
It's gone into the back of the old grey cells. I am tidying up as we go, you know that, because that's the only way my brain.
Yeah, that's top tip. That.
Yeah, this is a little
mixing bowl
with a little bit of I use, because when I'm cleaning my workbench down on a night, I tend to use this stuff. Which is an Amazon one. Screen cleaning solution, which basically is isopropyl alcohol solution. It says alcohol-free cleaning solution, which I'm possibly wrong there. Well, there's no product content on it. Contains less than 5% perfume. Oh, I should hope. If you're cleaning, well, a lot of us will reach for a bit of toilet paper. There's a toilet roll holder on my bench, hung above my bench, and we'll dip and then we end up using that much of it, and the rest of it ends up in the bin. So dumb. These are from the electronics industry, and these are nano sponges. And as you can see, I've been using. So with a pair of broad-ended tweezers, you just pull one out of the pack, and they're laser cut in the pack as a block. So if I can get that to zoom right, it's a big lump of white, isn't it? On the end of that, you'll see little ridges, which is where they separate from the pack, from the block. Oops. So wrap your tweezers on it, dip in a little bit of alcohol, of your cleaning solution, silicone-free, stresses, and away you go.
Right, can you move your hand up a bit, Ian? We can't see a thing.
Sorry. Sorry.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah, I'm on the wrong camera. That's why.
That's
There
all
you go.
right.
So and useful for just cleaning up. I've been using it a lot, which is my second box of these. I actually managed to get through an entire box of those because I use. Is it gone now? This stuff a lot.
Okay.
It's not the most pleasant smelling material, but it is a useful thing if you're trying to avoid fish eyes in your paint. So just wipe it over the model and it will degrease it and remove any silicone residues. So when you do put your paint on, you won't get that horrible effect where the paint pulls away.
Yeah.
Or leaves a
Can
fish
you
eye.
can you
Do.
take a picture of that and
I will. Yep, I'll post that one up.
Thank you.
But those little bits and pieces there. Very good cutting, Matt. I don't want to spoil that. Those little things there, you know, let that dry now, or stick it in the dehydrator or whatever. And that's you've treated that to a point where it's ready for a paint. And I found that particularly this one doesn't affect the paint underneath.
Yeah.
So it says designed for use over bare metal, plastic, and existing painted surfaces. So it's safe for that. This stuff I use all the time. So again, not an issue. But these little sponges, there's somehow seems like there's less waste because I'm only using a little sponge, you know. And they're quite. There's a lot in a box, you know, but they're a very useful little tool.
I'm sold. again, I set up another account to go onto AliExpress. Got everything in the shopping basket at the price that I liked, and then the price suddenly jumped again.
Oh, that's unusual. I don't know what's happening there because I've never had that problem, honestly.
No, I'm sure. Perhaps it's because I think perhaps what it is, Ian, is because I'm trying to do it live, and perhaps I'm just a bit distracted. But you know what I mean. I'm not fully focused. So,
but that and those little squares and these little things are a very useful tool when you're prepping.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't have to be a car, does it? You know.
No, absolutely.
You know, whatever you're building, you're going to need to clean the model down at some point. They're a useful tool. Must get some paint on that.
Nano cleaning sponge. Now we've got some. Have you got any more?
No, I don't. I've got one little thing left, but it can wait. That one if I don't.
No. Carry on.
So zoom on the guys from Hong Kong, Macau area. I love their transcripts. Artisan spirit. There's quality, and then there's quality. This is a full resin body conversion to make the Artisan Spirit wide body 2022 BRZ. That's a beautiful thing. It's an absolute thing of beauty. These are the guys that are doing the Fiat 500, which we had the picture of earlier, which John will call up now.
I am going to call up now. Bear with.
My glamorous assistant will now pull the picture in question to the screen.
Here we go. There we go. Should be on the screen now.
Those of you who've just been taking note of the Fiat 500 I had in my hand a moment ago will know that is a Fiat 500 Estate, also known as the Gardinaire. That is cool. I love the open Webasto roof as well. I'm all over that like a rash. So you reckon it's going to be available for order by end of January, early Feb? That is such a cool car.
If it was possible to make the original Fiat 500 even more ugly, there it is.
Excuse me.
I know, it's fighting talk.
Yes, it is indeed. When I walked through the lobby of what was the Turin factory that Fiat built 500s in and things in the 50s and 60s, which if those of you who have a recollection of the original Italian job will know that there's a sequence where they're driving around the roof of a building. That is Fiat's Turin factory. Turin, Milan.
I might have seen that film a few times, Ian.
Yeah, Milan, not Turin. Milan. I can't remember which one it is. Anyway, so on the roof of the factory is a track. I've walked around that track. That building there is now a hotel. And when you go to Fiat for a training event or whatever, they put you in that hotel. In the lobby is the 600 Gardenier in cream that belonged to one of the original family that owned Fiat. And it's beautiful. I love that car. It's so cute. Yeah, it is what it is. But anyway, so he's doing that. And
we've had a question from Jim Altergott. This is what I've been testing here at the moment. He says, is there a way to clean the tip of a silicone brush? I use one for metal pigment powder and can't get it clean. Now, Jim, what I've been doing whilst Ian was talking is I got my little thing of isopropyl alcohol, and there is one of my silicone brushes that was baked in gunmetal, and I'm just dipping it into the I've got a little shot glass here of isopropyl alcohol, and just a little bit of work with a kitchen towel, but it is just by twisting it round like that, it is bit by bit cleaning it. I'm sure if I was to use, I'm just thinking if I used to use water or whatnot, but that, oops, Daisy, I just managed to pull the thing out now. That is, oh, dearie me, that's considerably cleaner than it was 5 minutes ago.
Did that just come off in your hand, young man?
I did, yeah. That's me. Oh dear, that's it. That's my works.
It would appear, Jim, that the answer is actually possibly, but we're not sure because we broke ours.
Yeah, we've just broken this one. Actually, no, I'm sure if I I'm sure I can wedge that back in there. There we go. Look, he's done it. He's done it in every sense of the phrase. But yes, you can. I'm finding here with a little bit of isopropyl alcohol, that is a lot cleaner. Do you know what? I'm just gonna go and grab another one.
I'll tell you what, while you're doing that, I'll talk to some of the people asking questions. So Peter Stacey says, thank you for the heads up about the Torque Workshop Carrera GT screens. Yeah, they are. He says they're exquisite. They are. I agree. Have you seen the stuff that he's announced on his Facebook page this week, though, Peter? Best start a remortgage. That's all I'm going to say.
Anything else you want me to bring up, Ian, while we're here?
I just read Mr. Fleming's last comment. Couldn't possibly.
I always thought it was nice to be a car salesman, but now I'm getting an inkling as to his art of persuasion.
I don't know what you mean. Not a clue. Absolutely. I'm sweet, lovely, and innocent. Would you like to see my Mazda?
Go on then. Let's see your Mazda.
Well, actually, it's not my Mazda.
Not a Mazda.
It belongs to Dominic Toretto.
Ah.
So this is new from Aoshima. It hasn't made it to the UK yet. Honest. There is one omission, which I'm going to come back to in a minute. And I think there's a licensing query. What it would appear that Aoshima have done is they've taken a whole host of their other FD3S RX-7 kits and picked all the bits and pieces they need to make the basics, and then they've done little bits extra to make the Fast and Furious car. when we saw the original material on this, and you'll remember we covered this on the show, John, from Suzuka, the suggestion was these were a new tool. They're not. They're a combination tooling with new bits. The Skyline apparently is worse. You've basically got half a spare car in this box. There's an entire sprue here you use none of.
Right. Okay.
I don't know why they've left it in. But I think what happens is when it comes out of the tooling machine, it's attached to, because it's this one here, this red sprue here with the front splitter in. I think it's attached to this somehow, and it's easier just to put them both in a bag rather than taking that one away. If you look, the thing's absolutely covered in blanked out gate points. So there's loads and loads of other variation in this. From what I can see, new in the box, this... The only problem is the plastic bag's open now, so I've got to build it. This interior thread, because that's got the... Anybody who's watched Fast and Furious or The Fast and the Furious, the first film, will know in the first race sequence where Brian blows up the green car, before they set off, Dom lifts the cushion of the passenger seat and turns on the Knox bottles. That's those. So that interior is unique to this kit. This gives you an idea. Talking about what we've just said, this sprue of wheels is in there, so you get those two mirror faces. Nothing else is you.
Yep.
And I say there is aforementioned. You use nothing on that. That's a half decent set of Recaro, or are they Bride? They might be Bride actually seats. That. A nice splitter that you could modify for something else, and some door cards that might be useful, and a spoiler. The interior comes with either left or right hand drive. Of course, being an American film, you only use left. There's some... That says Veilside on it. And that says Veilside on it. Those are from an earlier issue. But that's the nose you use. That fits quite nicely. The thing is that Dom's car has got fixed headlights, not pop-ups. So you actually have to cut out the pop-up covers, and then in one of the sprue bags, there is a rather nicely made pair of headlight covers. That's a new tooling element. There. It's an interesting way of doing things. But if you're into modern Japanese custom car and American custom car styling, buy this, build the car from the box, and you've got a shed load of bits left over. You're going to use on other things. When you look at these, the new sprues are all labeled WS FD3S, which is that one. That's it. So everything else is out of other boxes. Oh, and the wheels. Sorry, I apologize. Because you've got a nice set of a very appropriate, if a little over shiny, they could do with a varnish coat just to tone them back, wheels for it. But everything else is recycled from other versions. But it's the nearest we've come to an injection molded kit of a Fast and Furious car recently. AMT and Aoshima have previously done bits and pieces. I'm hanging back on whether I want the Skyline or not, basically because I've got a very expensive resin and photo etch and turn metal conversion to build that car. which would be wasted if I didn't do it.
Oh, Derps.
The one thing that isn't in there. The decal sheet is missing one of the most visually identifiable things on it. On the nose here, there should be a decal, 2 parallel lines horizontally with the letters DT, and then underneath it, it should say Automotive Styling House. It's Dominic Toretto Automotive Styling House, and it's missing. And I think that's a licensing issue. The rest of it is absolutely spot on for the film, as far as I can see, because I went and watched the film twice just to make sure. But anyway, so they are. That's the new Aoshima Fast and Furious Mazda RX-7 FD3S.
Well, Ian, whilst we were going through that, I managed to get a Despy AT-AP multi-purpose processing assistance platform, £29.57. So it's bizarre how I think it's bizarre how this works or it doesn't work. Is it jumps around, and you've just got to kind of
play the game.
The game.
The giveaway for it is there's games on there.
Yeah. As Freddie Mercury said 46 years ago, play the game. 45 years ago, play the game. Right. So that gave the game away there. Any other business?
Sarah Jane makes a point talking about Zoom On. Whenever you buy something from Zoom On, you will receive a parcel, and in the parcel will not be everything you ordered. There will be extras, because that seems to be his thing. Leon, I think the gentleman's name is, and from a customer service point of view and from an efficiency point of view, absolutely top notch. He has a habit of sending these, which are little sheets of 3D of photo etched self-adhesive labels, and as you can tell,
yeah,
I've got a few, and some of them I've had a long time, and some of I haven't. And a few people were saying, "Yeah, they're lovely, but they don't come with the color element." He's done a sticker sheet for them. This is a decal sheet for the backing to use behind the various badges. And there's BMW and Mitsubishi and Tamiya and Toyota and all sorts in there. And he's done a whole range of them: Lamborghini, Ferrari, Porsche, Subaru. We've mentioned them before. Honda. That's the rectangular Ferrari ones. Mitsubishi's there. So that's quite nice. So if you've got a wad of these, and I know Sarah Jane's made that point, I'm pretty willing to bet that if I said to Sarah Jane, how many of them have you got? She'll have a few. You want this as well? I think it's only about £4. Worth having.
Here we go. Sarah Jane says, Ian, I've had those plus water nozzles for the bonnet, seatbelt buckles. Excellent service.
Has he managed to send you the coiled wire for racing steering wheels? For when you pop a racing steering wheel off?
She says, "Yep, got 109."
Yeah, that's the stickers. But that's really cool stuff. In a racing car, the wheels are designed to pop off the column. You pull like a thing on the back of it, and it comes off, so you can get it out of the way while you're getting in and out. Or swap wheels for different drivers might have different wheels, particularly in endurance racing. They're always held onto the column with like a quick release, with like a coil, like a telephone type one.
Yeah.
It's a pig of a thing to replicate in scale. He does it as an accessory set, and you get about 3 inches in a pack.
Here we go. Sarah Jane says, I haven't had the wire, but sounds great.
Yeah. The thing is, a lot of the stuff he gives free. He also retails on the website as well. You just have to kind of go digging into, because there's so much product on his website. And he's a major distributor for SK Decals as well. So
we do like SK Decals on this show, don't we?
Love an SK Decal. They are though. Oh, yes, that's what I forgot. Last thing, John, I promise.
Go on. I'm fine. I love the way Ian's modelling room is so fabulously organised.
It's not how I want it at the minute. I've had a moment. But here we go. How about the other Hello Kitty car?
Oh my goodness me. It's a bit dull, isn't it?
You're never going to lose it in a car park.
No, you're not. No.
Masking's going to be fun and all.
That's all straight lines, for goodness sake.
Yeah, I know. Bleed's going to be interesting. But that's just such a great... It's one of... Remember we were talking about Adderley Fong a little while ago. Yeah. This is another one of his cars. So this is his 2022 car. The other Hello Kitty car that we've seen before was 2023. 2024 was another one that's gone out of my head. And then 2025 was the Cinnamon car, and we got the exclusive of the artwork for the other week.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, that came with the GT86 set. And I'm... let's just say that 2 more Audi R8 GT3 Evo 2s arrived yesterday.
Sarah Jane says, ooh Deckles. I'm trying not to go Kenneth Williams there. Ooh Deckles, love them. She also says, Ian, I have them plus the Garfield ones.
Oh, now, on that subject, Sarah Jane, are you aware that the Garfield scheme is also on a Ferrari 296 GT3 and one of the decal options in the Kitbox PZY kit, allegedly.
Okay.
Our friends from Kitbox PZY might be dropping into, might be watching tonight. If they are, hi.
I've just Googled Ferrari Garfield. Hasn't come up with anything, but not yet anyway. Paul Adams says SK Deckles and a love face. So there we go.
Sums it up.
Right. Excellent stuff. Excellent. Right. I have managed to order myself a Despy multi-tool tonight, but I am going to play the game. I'm going to play the game with AliExpress to see if I can get those other bits and pieces and see how this works. I think I'm getting a feel. Oops, days, let's get me on camera. I think I'm getting a feel for how kind of dynamic the website is when it comes to these orders, and when you see it, then bang, just get it. So anyway,
the other way to do it is to put it in your wish list.
Yeah,
you click on it. Much like eBay, there's the little heart. Hit the heart. It'll appear in your wish list on your account page. Then go back to it a couple of days later and see where the price is.
Yep, brilliant. Right, fingers crossed, we'll be back next Sunday for what is probably going to be our end of year shindig.
Soiree.
I think it's going to be a soiree. We'll see how. Ian, be a delight if you could come along for that. We'll see if we can get many people on board for that next week. Like I say, it might be our end of year one because this is going to be. There we go. The Sunday Advent Service Christmas Special. So Sunday, December the 21st. So I think we might have 10 days off and then come back in the new year with a brand new show in the new year. So yes, this could be the last. There's people tuning in now will hear me say this could be the last one. I think, oh, thank goodness for that. The last one for the year.
Yes. We'll be back.
Yes, regrettably, yes. So next Sunday, December the 21st, the shortest day of the year. Although if you watch this show, it'll feel like the longest day. We'll be back at 7:30 next week for hopefully a bit of a bumper show. So until then, a big thank you to Ian, Mr. Ian Hartup, Esquire. Big thank you to everybody who tuned in tonight and made the show what it was, which was Gert fun. I can tell you, Gert fun. I love doing the car shows because it's not my kind of usual thing, and it's like learning about a brand new hobby again. So anyway, on that note,
I'm liking the Gundam channels.
Yes,
I'm not. Trust me. I really, the model shop near me has a lot of Gundam kits. I really do have to resist them.
Yep. They're spendy, aren't they?
But beautiful.
They're beautiful, but they're a little bit spendy. So, folks, fingers crossed, we'll see you here 7:30 next Sunday. Yeah. Until then, it just behoves me to say thank you to Ian. Thank you to everybody who's tuned in tonight. We'll see you in a week's time. So everybody take care. See you later. Bye-bye, everybody. Bye-bye.